Cool. So I started getting into a little bit of spirituality and realizing that maybe there's a bigger picture at play here. Maybe everything kind of does happen for a reason. Um, and so just to kind of like speed up a little bit without getting too deep into
Oh,
it,
this is
towards the
mad
end of high
interesting,
school,
though. Just so you know, I'm really
beautiful,
engrossed.
beautiful. So by the end of high school, I'm trying to find my mom on the internet and I don't have a computer. So I'm like, the last few weeks of school, I'm like in the computer lab trying to like 411 her, Canada 411, trying to whatever website that was at the time, yellowpages.com or something, CA. So I'm like trying to figure out like, going off her last name, going off of like the area she might live in. I couldn't find anything. And I had a lot of my friends who, you know, would read my poems. And I guess I would talk about these types of things in my poetry because, again, it was therapy. I never really intended to have people read it at first, but people started taking an odd interest in reading them because it's stuff that I wasn't comfortable talking about, but I put it in my writing. And it's like they got to see a side of me, and then they'd start asking me about that. Like, so Tash, like, don't you ever feel like, and don't you ever? So then I was like, kind of like, yeah, maybe I should find her. So a little bit after high school, I actually was 16 when I got the first letter from my mom in the mail because I'm not going to get too deep into this, but we did have a way of reaching her through a third party. So she started to be introduced into my life around 16. I saw her picture for the first time when she sent me a letter, and I was 16, and I was like, wow, this is what my mom looks like. Blonde hair, blue eyes, Irish, Scottish. It was trippy to me that this is my other side. This is okay. So now I'm starting to really like blossom a little bit more. And then basically fast forward a little bit later, I actually meet her. So what does this have to do with spirituality? I started off, it was a tragedy. It was a tragic story with sad poems and sad love songs and all this stuff. And then it eventually became like the silver lining, and I need to write a book about this. And there's a huge lesson in here. There's several. You're not your situation. You're not what has happened to you in the past. You do have control. Perspective is everything. Have faith. There is a larger picture here. Have patience. Be patient with yourself. Forgive yourself and others. A whole lot of that started coming in. And as my perspective started to change and I became less depressed, beautiful things started happening. And the year I graduated high school is when I met my brother from Smoking Ink.
Oh shit! Your shout out, Sean. That's right. That's the smoking ink one, right, Sean? Yes, I know. I
What
know.
up, bro?